Welcome to Growing Younger podcast, where we guide you through your journey of reaching your fitness goals after 40.
Hello guys, and the topic of today's podcast is going to be plummeting energy levels after the age of 50. So we're going to discuss this topic in three parts. So we're going to talk about why energy levels start to drop after the age of 50. We're going to go into a little bit of physiology. I'm going to simplify it. I'm going to explain to you what actually happens in your body so that you feel these kind of low energy levels as we get older. And the third thing we're going to talk about is the 5 powerful but simple things that you can do right now to improve your energy levels so you don't feel tired all the time. So look, if you have been feeling more tired after turning 50, if you've been struggling to get through your day, if you feel like you don't have the energy you used to have back in your 30s or even your 40s, it's not your imagination. You're not making it up. Okay, it is actually physiology. It is what happens to our bodies as we age, as we get older. So I'm going to talk about a couple of reasons why your energy levels actually plummet. So number one, if you go back to your school days and possibly remember your biology class, okay, you might remember about mitochondria. So mitochondria are your little, you could say, power plants inside your cells, okay, in your body. Essentially, these little power plants, they help to generate energy within your cells. And this is the energy that we use for living, for getting things done, for exercising, for all sorts of things, okay? So after the age of 50, these mitochondria become less efficient, okay? Now, because these powerhouses become less efficient, so your cells produce less energy. That's pretty obvious stuff. Now, so therefore, if you feel like your energy levels are dropping, it's not because you're making it up or you sort of, it's your imagination. It actually is happening on a cellular level inside your body. Now, on top of the mitochondria, also we go through hormonal shifts, and this is particularly so for women who are going through menopause. So there are major changes in your estrogen and progesterone levels, particularly for men. Testosterone levels start to dwindle and drop as we get older, and this can be a problem. So therefore, because our hormones, there are some significant shifts in our hormone levels, this can have a major impact on your energy levels as well. Now, on top of this, there's a stress hormone called cortisol. Now, cortisol essentially is known as a stress hormone, and it tends to increase with age. Okay, so the good hormones decrease, the bad hormone increases, and so that can lead to anxiety, higher stress levels, fatigue, poor sleep, and mental fog as well. So if you're not getting good sleep, you're more likely to feel tired the following day. Now, the third reason that you might be getting lower energy levels is a process called sarcopenia. Okay, so what it stands for essentially is age-related muscle loss. Okay, so your body tends to lose muscle as we get older. Okay, the process is called sarcopenia. So on average, we tend to lose about 3 to 8% of muscle mass every single decade of our life after the age of 30. And this rate can actually increase after the age of 50. So because you have less muscle, it means slower metabolism, okay? So your body burns less energy at rest. Because you're losing muscle, there's more effort to just getting things done, to move around, to exercise, to do all sorts of things, okay? And what it means is that your fatigue levels increase, okay? So it wouldn't be much different to just carrying, as we get older, it wouldn't be much different to carrying a backpack on your back, just to represent that it's, it takes a lot more effort to getting things done. The same things that you used to be quite easy in your 30s, now in your 50s, particularly in your 60s, it starts to feel like it takes quite a bit of effort to get it done. Now, another physiological reason for feeling tired after 50 is, inconsistent or bad sleep, quality of sleep. Okay, so sleep generally becomes, now everyone is different, but generally speaking, sleep becomes a bit lighter. Okay, you don't have as much of that sort of deep sleep you used to get in your 20s. A lot of people start to get up at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. to go to the bathroom. Okay, so that's something that happens a lot more after the age of 50. And again, that actually does disturb your sleep as well. And the final reason for having lower energy levels with age is the fact that your digestive system becomes less efficient at absorbing the vital key nutrients. So examples would be iron, magnesium, B12, vitamin D. Okay, all these minerals and vitamins are essential for sustaining healthy life, and particularly for having good energy levels throughout our day. So you could literally be eating the same food that you used to eat in your 30s, for example, but because your digestive tract is not able to absorb as much of those key nutrients, your body is not getting those essential, or it's not getting as much of those key essential nutrients as it used to. All right, so now that we talked about all the things that make you tired after 50, the good news is there are actually things that can help you to improve and, almost restore your energy levels. So I'll talk about 5 things that I believe are the most important. So number 1 is muscle. Okay, so we need to restore or we need to rebuild muscle, and it is possible. You might be wondering, I might be in your 50s and you in the 60s. Is it still possible to rebuild muscle mass? Okay, it is possible. There's plenty of research to say that it is definitely doable. Okay, so basically to build muscle, you need 2 things. Okay, you need to make sure that you have enough protein in your diet. Okay, so a ballpark figure, and again, it depends on the body size, but let's say you should be aiming at about 25 to 30 grams of high quality protein per meal. Okay, so it's a ballpark figure. If you want exact amount, just go and do a bit of research, but that's just an approximate figure for you to work with. So you need protein because they are the building blocks from which your muscles are made. Okay, so if you don't have enough protein, your muscles don't have enough nutrition to essentially to grow. Okay, now on top of having enough protein in your body, you also need the right type of exercise. So we're talking about resistance training or strength training. Now, without strength training, you're not going to grow muscle, no matter how much protein you have in your diet. Okay, so that's just plain and simple. So what you're aiming for now, you don't need to be doing any kind of crazy weightlifting sessions. Okay, all you need is 2 to 3 strength training sessions a week, where you do maybe a little bit of resistance training. So if you're a beginner, doing some body weight exercises such as maybe simple squats from a chair, like standing up from a chair, or maybe doing some press ups against the wall. You could be doing, if your level of strength right now is quite low, you could get away with just doing some very basic things, whatever you feel comfortable with right now. Now, it's always better to get a guidance from a trained personal trainer, from a qualified personal trainer, to give you a few tips. It's always safer as well. But look, strength training is definitely the way to go. Now, when you build more muscle, your metabolism increases. It helps to skyrocket your energy levels as well. Okay, so strength training, building muscle is one way to overcome your low energy levels. Now, number 2 way to tackle your tiredness is preferably first thing in the morning, exposing yourself to a bit of sunlight. Okay, so it's recommended to go outside and spend a little bit of time outside for 10 minutes after you wake up. Now, what it does, because sunlight, it kind of stimulates your brain, it stimulates your particularly the hormone called serotonin. Okay, serotonin is a feel-good chemical. It helps to kind of wake you up and keep you alert. Okay, it helps with regulating your circadian rhythms. So what it means is that it helps to normalize your body clock. So the body clock is what tells your body when to wake up and when to go to sleep. So when you expose yourself to some sunlight first thing in the morning, it tells your body that you should be awake. Okay, so that's a very simple strategy to to boost your energy levels a little bit. Now, one thing to be aware of, obviously, you've got to take the precautions with being exposed to direct sunlight. So you want to be putting the sunscreen on if you if you are living in a hot climate, if particularly in New Zealand, Australia, we have very high levels of UV radiation, so you got to consider that aspect as well. But if you go outside first thing in the morning, early, usually the UV radiation is usually is reasonably mild. Okay, but definitely keep the UV radiation in consideration as well. Okay. Now, the third thing you can do to improve your energy levels is eliminating what I would call energy vampires from your diet. Okay, so what I mean is it's the foods that are very high in carbs and sugar. Okay, it's particularly highly processed carbs. Okay, I'm talking about things like white rice, sugary drinks, white breads, energy drinks, any kind of desserts, ice creams, that kind of thing. Okay, because those things that are very high in simple carbs or sugar, they tend to give you a very quick energy spike, and then you experience an energy crash. Okay, so long term, this definitely does not help to sustain your energy levels. Okay, so instead of choosing those kind of high sugary, high carb foods, you should go for things that contain veggies, leafy greens, whole grains, nuts, seeds, the healthy foods essentially. You probably know what they are, okay? Because especially foods high in protein, as I said before. Now, the other good thing about protein is that it releases energy in your body slowly, okay? So rather than experiencing a sudden spike in energy levels and then having to deal with an energy crash, protein keeps energy levels for longer. So it keeps you full for longer, therefore you don't feel like snacking or eating in like an hour or 2 hours time. Okay, so protein gives you sustainable energy levels throughout your day. Now, number 4 is just maintaining some kind of activity level. So try every hour, and I know it's a lot and sounds like quite often you have to do it, but every hour do at least a little bit of activity. Okay, even if, like, say if you're sitting in the office, just get up to get a glass of water. Okay, you just move a little bit. Okay, or go to the printer, or do some, I don't know, push-ups against the wall. Anything that keeps your body moving. It doesn't have to be for long, even like for a minute or two, as long as your body is not staying stationary for the whole 8 hours. It actually helps to improve your energy levels, because if you stay still for too long, it basically tells your body that it's time to go to bed or it's time to go to sleep. So it becomes lethargic. Your metabolism drops and your energy levels start to dwindle. Okay, so every hour do a little bit of physical activity. It doesn't have to be much, but do at least a little bit. Okay. Number five, and the final tip for improving your energy levels is just plan your life a little bit. Okay, so particularly people in their 50s, that sometimes there's a lot on your plate. Okay, you've got parents to look after, you've got your kids to look after, possibly even grandkids. You're probably still working, or you're running a business. There's just too many things. Okay, and sometimes you just have to say no. Like, you just have to, the best thing is to plan your weeks in advance and allow a few hours a week to just time for yourself, okay, to do things that you want to do, to rest, okay? And rest, I don't mean necessarily sitting on a couch or watching television. You could be using positive or active rest. Okay, so you could try things like meditation or deep breathing or reading, for example. Okay, or just going for a gentle walk. Things that you enjoy, things that help you relax, help you de-stress. Okay, so these things, managing your workload, managing your life and stress levels, it can go a long way in terms of improving your energy levels as well. Okay, so hopefully this will help you manage your level, manage your energy levels and improve your fatigue. So quick recap. So we talked about the 5 things that will help you overcome your dwindling energy levels after 50. So number 1 is strength training and building a bit of muscle. Number 2 is getting some sunlight, exposing yourself to some sunlight, natural light in the morning, first thing for 5 to 10 minutes. Number 3 is eating food high in protein and high in healthy foods such as veggies, leafy greens, nuts, that kind of thing, and trying to cut down on high sugary foods as well. Number 4 is moving at least a little bit every hour. So a little bit of exercise every hour. And number 5 is giving yourself permission to just have a break, have some rest, okay? Whatever it is for you, either reading a book or meditating or just simply distressing, going for a walk, whatever it is for you, at least a couple of hours every week to basically just have some me time, okay? That can go a long way, okay? So hopefully you learned something from this podcast, and I will talk to you on the next one, okay? All the best for now. Oh, by the way, guys, if you enjoy the information in this podcast, if you're finding it useful, and maybe you know someone who is experiencing low energy levels, who is over 50 and struggling with excessive tiredness, I would appreciate if you could forward this podcast to them. Maybe it will help them as well, and I would be super thankful for you to you for that. So all the best for now, and speak to you later.